Many people predict the Clippers will miss the playoffs after letting Paul George go. That's embarrassing in your new arena, but even worse considering the Thunder will get their draft pick. Depending on how bad this next year is, OKC could get another top 5 player. No one knew Shai Gilgeous-Alexander would be this good. The trade got them PG and Kawhi, both all-NBA players in their 20s. I mean, yeah, Kawhi had injuries, but dude literally just won the Finals MVP. The trade instantly made them championship favorites. For a team with zero positive history, that made sense. But at some point, they lost the trade. Was it when they blew a 3-1 lead in the bubble? When SGA became an all-star? When OKC drafted Jalen Williams with the Clippers pick? But the problem is LA's win total is set at 40.5 games. So bad, it would have missed the play-in last year in the West, 12th place. But the most expensive one was their new arena. The Intuit Dome cost $2 billion. When I acquired the team, I was very delighted that I wouldn't have to build a new arena. Seriously, because any other team I looked at any time, whether I was Seattle for a while, Sacramento, Milwaukee, they all needed arenas. Why? Because Ballmer saw how miserable it was to be the Clippers at Staples Center. Last year, had 10 afternoon games, went 5-5, and were down double digits in all those games. So, Intuit features 5 basketball courts, including one outdoors, a high-tech Halo board, and the wall with seats from floor to ceiling for home court advantage. But the problem is price. The cheapest seats behind the basket were high 300s on the first-hand market. Second-hand is ridiculous. $3,000 for lower bowl. You can sit courtside at most places for that. Now that is just for the first game, but it ain't cheap. They gave Kawhi 3 years, $152 million, which is a discount. But instead LA offered 2 years, $60 million, which he found disrespectful. Then they didn't counteroffer until the All-Star break, affecting Paul George's mentality, so he broke off talks until after the season. But Paul had just had a healthy year, played great, so he said, I'll take it with a no-trade clause. They signed Blake Griffin to a supermax, face of the franchise, but a few months later, dealt him to Detroit out of nowhere. It makes no sense because up to this point, the Clips said, screw our future, we're going all in. I mean, they did it for the PG Kawhi trade, then they doubled down to get James Harden. Like, they had no picks, right, until 2027, then they said, screw it, we'll trade all our picks again to get Harden. So LA has 2 choices. They can either win now, trade for more stars, free agents, whatever, or abort mission and get their picks back. Brooklyn tried their super team, and when it didn't work, they had to trade all their pieces to get their picks back from Houston. But out went PG and Russell Westbrook. In, James Harden, re-signing him, Nicholas Batum, Derek Jones Jr., Chris Dunn, and Kevin Porter Jr. Always a disappointment in the postseason, but before the All-Star break, Beard was amazing. 18 points a game with 8 assists, really efficient, and an elite playmaker. Dude led the NBA in assists in 2023, was 4th last season. The one thing, Harden's not that MVP scorer from 5 years ago anymore, but PG took 17 shots a game. Look, I'm not super into these ratings, but dude got an 84. For context, that is 1 point better than Tyler Hero and Kyle Kuzma, just below Rudy Gobert and Bradley Beal. Now, off the bench, they still have 6-man Norm Powell, who's awesome. Right now, it's Ivica Zubac. His backup is Mo Bamba. Great song, not a great NBA player. Well, they've got Terrence Mann, Chris Dunn, Bones Highland, which is why they gambled on Kevin Porter Jr. The one thing that can fix all of this, at least a little, is Ty Lue. He's one of the most creative, best coaches in the NBA. And Harden plus Kawhi are at least a good positional fit. They make sense. Behind them, long 3-and-D wings like Derek Jones, Terrence Mann, and Nick Batum. I mean, Team USA says they let Kawhi go for a knee issue. Maybe that's a good thing, he got all that time to rest up, but back. The problem, obviously, is sustaining that success, being consistent over a long season. But look at this. Last year's top 8 was OKC, Nuggets, Wolves, Clippers, Mavs, Suns, Lakers, and Pels. I think 2 teams are going to sneak in this year. Grizzlies, Warriors. So whose spots do they take? Well, I guess let's delete the Lakers and the Pelicans. I don't know who it's going to be. It's the most competitive West in years. They owe a 2025 swap and a 2026 unprotected first to OKC for PG. Then they owe a 2027 swap to OKC for James Harden and a 2028 unprotected first and 2029 swap to Philly. And at that point, I expect the Clippers to face reality and have to trade Kawhi and Harden to start over. But one team is in the opposite position of the Clippers.
Subscribe to my channel.